Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It's about midnight Central Standard Time, February 14th, and we're going to go over Bitcoin and do a very quick evening update. When I say quick, I'm talking about, about 10 minutes at most, okay guys? If it's over 10 Bitcoin, you guys can bill me for one Bitcoin, okay? You guys can all bill me for one Bitcoin if it's over 10 minutes. So I'm going to make it like 10 minutes and 1 second and I'm gonna see how many people are actually gonna request it. Okay, it's gonna be funny. Okay, so I hope you guys have a really good night. If you've had a good night trading so far, it was a pretty decent uptrend, I can say, that we've had. We gained about $300, so for the day traders, they must have been ecstatic about it. Hope you guys have something planned for Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I've got a really nice date with Bitcoin, and I think we're gonna have a great time together. So let's go over Bitcoin. First of all, the volume yesterday was really not the best volume that we finished off at. And we finished off at, a fairly neutral kind of candle, I would say. The neutral kind of candle, it finished off at that, right? The bears ended up pushing it down, but the bulls rejected them, right? And sometime throughout the day, they were fighting back and forth. So this candle, to me, is considered a more indecisive candle, right? And then in the past 6 hours, the bulls have pushed up a pretty good range from 8,500 to almost 8,875. So that's a huge sign that the bulls are starting to get on the offense again, and the day has only began, right? So if we do a candlestick analysis here, we still notice a very critical price point right here at at 90.74. This is kind of a key point right now to be taking note of. Now, if we look on here on the 4-hour chart, we're noticing a lot of bullish signs where we actually bounced off of the 55 EMA. We were right in the middle of it here. A lot of people probably panicked that they were selling here to the 8,300 ranges, right? So that was a few days ago, or that was the day before actually. So I think a lot of people panicked that they sold in the morning there, and then we eventually pushed back up here. This is almost seen as an inverted hammer slash doji. And here's where the hammer actually showed up, right? And here you got kind of a spinning top that was slightly bullish in my opinion. Here, in my opinion, the bulls are attempting to push up, right? They're attempting to push up like that. Lots of attempts to push up throughout the day. The bears barely tried to push down actually, and eventually the bulls took over, and this big green candle ended up occurring where it moved up to $300. And now we have a very bullish candle with a lot of volume and 45 minutes left to go. So the big question is, what is happening now, right? And the easiest thing to say, guys, is that it's forming right now pretty much an ascending triangle, we can say, right? We can count 2 resistance points. One would be right around the wick area, and the other one would be on the extreme end right here. So regardless of how anyone sees it, that is the most critical point right now. And if we take some more valid points, say from up here to here and right down to there, what we're seeing is a sloped resistance now, right? Let's change this a little bit to about right there to include these points, right? So either way, we're apexing into a critical point. I'm going to say anywhere between there. I'm more so interested in these ones right here though. So I'm going to draw my apex right over here. Where is my drawing tool? So this is the apex that it's squeezing into first. Now, I don't recommend whatsoever, okay, like for myself, I'm not going to be interested in it, even if it breaches this range right here, which is about 9K. I'll be interested in it, excuse me there, once I confirm an official uptrend and we get a clear break above 90.74. And I'm going to let it run its course, right, around between this range right here. This is still a no trade zone to me. To me, this is a no trade zone because there's no clear conviction of a breakout. It needs to break the weekly high, in my opinion, 90.74, and then we'll get a clear conviction breaking upwards, and we have to have the volume, right? That's going to be great. So what I plan to do is play the breakout. I'll definitely buy into strength if I do believe that a breakout is going to occur up there. Now, where are some possible targets? Well, some possible targets, if we go to lower time frame right here, is if we call this wave 1 up here, and then we call this wave 2 consolidation, right? Let's say this wave 1, that's wave 2. Perhaps this is wave 3, we can say, sure, 4, and I'm still looking for a 5th wave somewhere up there, where my target is still roughly 9,300, between 93 and 9,400. And what I think will most likely happen is it'll probably end up breaking it. If it does break it, it'll definitely correct to somewhere in these levels right here, right above the weekly. A very bullish correction though, maybe even to 236 or the 236 level. or sorry, 382 or 236 if we break slightly above it like that, right? And then that will that will complete one of the subwaves, and then we would begin another one. So it's looking pretty good in general for the bulls right now, I would have to admit. And the bulls are looking a lot better than they were this morning. The concern right now, though, is if I look on, for example, the 2-hour chart with an hour left to go, we are losing volume, right? We got an hour to go here. We got about half of the volume as the last one, and actually 40 minutes to go here. And we're getting an indecisive candle coming up right there. On the 1-hour chart, right, it's fairly neutral. We're getting some sideways action for the past 3 hours here. Nothing has really happened too much here at all. Now, looking at the indicators, we see that it's actually bullishly diverging, but we see this right here as a critical point for RSI. I think if we actually break this RSI on the 1-hour chart, we could see some surges up. But nevertheless, we are seeing a sort of a parabolic move up, right? A parabolic move up like this so far. Now the question is, will we actually be able to maintain it and actually go up? If not, then we're going to end up coming downwards like here. And we're going to bounce in these regions, and then a decisive break could happen one way or the other. Now, I know that everyone is on the fence as well. Lots of bulls are on the fence, lots of bears are on the fence right now. We don't know what's really happening. The MACD is starting to curve up slowly, right? But doesn't mean it's going to spike up. We don't know. We simply just don't know right now. It is one of those moments where there's a lot of mixed signals for both bulls and bears. But one thing we have to acknowledge is that this is a decline in the moving average for the volume, right? The volume is actually decreasing throughout the days since this official uptrend right here. So my general thoughts on this is that we're reaching a very critical apex point in here, and a decisive move will happen. And there's really no predictions other than this right now. My thoughts still stand from in the morning. This is a clear apex point right now where we're trending along these sloped lines right here, okay? And this is a clear resistance as well with a break above, say, 89.50, and then we should try for 90.74. And if we actually end up breaking up from there, then we could see a surge to 9,300. And I'm just going to do short-term targets for now in the meantime, because I simply don't know, guys. So my recommendation is to absolutely watch for a break, right? Will we break up or will we break down? Simple as that. We don't know. So what I recommend, as always, is to wait for confirmation. Wait for confirmation. There's really no change in anything that has gone on throughout the day. This was very expected for us to play in this kind of range. But of course, during this critical bounce right here on the sloped support line, I think a lot of people ended up going long on there and they made a really good choice. Or even right around over here at 5 in the morning, right? People bought around this 8,300 range. And right here, it's 84, 8,500 along the trend line. So please make sure you guys wait for confirmation. There's no indication of any specific direction yet. We definitely see more green than we do red right now, which is a good sign. The volume has picked up since the past few days, but only for this specific region, right? We got to give it a few more hours, as in, excuse me, maybe 8 to 10 more hours, and then we'll decisively know what is going on exactly. So guys, right now, we gotta wait. I don't know if something's gonna happen, or I don't think something will happen today, as in February 14. I think we'll most likely end up trending along here for now, till up to the 15th. That's the 15th, 3 p.m. around there. So about 24 hours, we'll say to 36 hours, where a very decisive move will happen. So please exercise caution, and please make sure you guys wait for confirmation. But one thing that I will probably do myself is if we bounce off of this support line over here, I'll most likely end up accumulating very slowly and starting to ladder my buys. I plan to play a pretty big position for this one, much more than my day trading position. I will be swing trading this one here because I wanna hold and forget it for a few days, put it that way, okay? So yeah, these are my quick thoughts, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this evening update. If you have, I would appreciate an upvote on steemit. Make sure you also like, subscribe, and share to the material on YouTube and on Twitter. And keep in mind that my Twitter, guys, it's also there for pure entertainment, right? It's also for pure entertainment. I like to make people laugh. I like to crack a lot of jokes. I'm probably going to babble for about 18 more seconds, right until we hit 9 minutes and 59 seconds, because I'm not going to pay anyone a Bitcoin, and I'm very aware of the time. So, you know, today I woke up, I ate a lot of chili, I had some rice, I'm Asian, right? I love my rice, right? It's so good. Oh my goodness, there's about 3 seconds left. Bye, guys. Have a good night.